For those who competed decades ago, speeding down highways, through towns, country roads. For those who sat watching on the sides of the street, who found solace in chaos and thunderous speed. Even for those who grew up without the sights and the sounds, and lived without race cars shaking the ground. Who don't understand why racing appeals to our fascination, wonder, and the way that we feel. A purpose-built place to camp and spend time with friends, watching racing together until darkness descends. Though no longer do the streets rumble and roar, there's a place just for this, a park to explore.
A road racing circuit before the assault. The 4 twisting, beautiful miles at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. For 6 brutal, ear-shattering hours, its serenity will be violated by the raw power of screaming racing machines. It's the famed end-of-season endurance classic, the Road America 500. The specially constructed race circuit at Elkhart Lake at normal speed is a scenic 4-mile drive through fall-tinted Wisconsin countryside.
Hidden by forests near Elkhart Lake, not a path nor a trail, but a road meant to race. In a town too quiet, the refuge we seek, Road America, the racetrack, the national park of speed.
There you go.
Welcome everyone to the National Park of Speed. I'm sorry if my mic sounds a little bit off. For some reason my main mic is not being detected by OBS. I was trying to do everything I can to get it sorted out, but we're going to have to stick with this for now. But we're at the National Park of Speed. My name is Finny Cooney here with Liam Sheen. We got the pace lap rolling off Liam, but looking forward to this race nonetheless.
Yeah, Road America is one of the best tracks that NASCAR goes to throughout the entire circuit, and there was a really great idea for the Grid Life event was here this weekend, so there's going to be a really cool thing that was going to occur where everything was going to be broadcasted at the actual track, but unfortunately things just didn't work out. And here we are filling in for Kyle Heyer, and I think we're down for a really great show here tonight with these cars. Times are really close in qualifying, so I'm not going to be surprised at all if these guys put on a great show for us.
Absolutely, here, and we'll go through the pace fairly quickly, actually. I'll put on the auto grid there. We got Yusuf Ghali starting in first place. Next to him, Zach Halpern starting in the 26 car, going to be lining up in second place. Back in third, it's going to be Zach Carr, lined up next to Bryce Clusa in fourth.
All right, and then in fifth, you got Sam Deventier, I believe that's how you say that, and AJ Stravado in the 33 and sixth, as well as Jeff Wright in the 48, and Eric Mickey making another start in the number 41 in 8th place.
And moving on back into 9th place, we find Adam Cabot in the 77 car, and he's sitting next to Martin Sproul, lined up in 10th. And we'll let the rest of that roll across the bottom of your screen here as we get ready for going racing here at National Park of Speed Road America. We got over 32 cars lined up here from my count, and I'm actually technically listed in the grid because I was going to race just shortly before I decided to put this on, because unfortunately Kyle was not able to get the broadcast going, so I stepped in to get this together with Liam, and we'll see how this is going to go. Again, I do apologize for my mic quality. I'm not sure how it sounds using my headset mic. I hope it's okay for you guys to listen to. As the pace car now working through Canada corner, going to be a very treacherous corner indeed for a lot of these drivers heading down on cold tires and even on older tires as well. The tire wear going to be fairly significant for these guys as we face a fairly hot circuit, but as they're winding through the final corners here, we're going to unleash hundreds and hundreds of horsepower around here. Again, it's going to be Yusuf Ghali and Zach Halpern up at the top of the grid, leading them down, coming out of the final corner, and up the hill they go. Pace car going to make the turn on pit road as we get ready to unleash the beast here at Road America. Up the hill they go under the NTT Data Bridge. And we're racing here at Road America.
And that was an absolutely great start for the number 54 and the 26. The 26 is going to go for the move into one, wasting no time, really loose into one, wheel hops it a bit. He keeps it going straight, and Yusuf Ghali, I believe, will keep the top spot for now, but a really great start for those two. They broke away from the rest of the pack early, and into turn 3 they go, and no problems here. Everyone's going to get through clean and green. A few stragglers in the back, but no problems so far.
Yeah, some guys getting spread out in the back. I don't see any signs of a wreck, so it looks like we're good for the moment, but everyone racing down to turn 5 now. Have a braking zone, and a few guys side by side as well in the middle of the pack. I believe that is Eric Mickey side by side with, I want to say, I'm trying to see that car. That is the 41. That is, sorry, Eric Mickey side by side with the 36 of Joshua Banks, and he's going to get on by.
Yeah, Eric Mickey can flex his road course prowess at this track here tonight, as he's one of the better road guys on iRacing, so we're going to see if he can get it done here tonight, but he has a tough road ahead of him with all these strong cars. I don't think it's going to be really easy for him to do it.
And guys, heading down now to the carousel here, and this is a very tricky part of track here. It's trying to keep this car stuck to the right hand side, but also swinging out left to just set up a nice late apex out of the corner. Now flying down to the kink for the first time with the cold tires. Guys, got to be careful, otherwise you're going to go flying off into the dirt. And the first few drivers making it okay. Everyone getting settled out and clear, because again, we do have to mention also that there is going to be a stage caution halfway through this race at around lap 10, at the completion of lap 10, if I'm not mistaken. So these guys are going to be taking it pretty easy in this first half of the race.
Yeah, in the first half of the run, I believe people will save tires a little bit, but after like lap 5 or 6 or so, they can push it, and they won't have to worry much about tire wear or losing track position via their tires. So they can push it. further than what you normally would on a 25-lap race at Road America. So it's going to be interesting to see who is the one that's going to be the first one to make that call to go all out and try to get some stage points.
Yeah, up at the top, still pretty close between our 4 leaders, that being Yusuf Ghali, Zach Halpern, Bryce Klusa, and Zach Carr in the 27. All 4 of those guys still very close together. And the big thing, too, is to watch out for Zach Carr, because he was dominating practice, and from Yusuf Ghali's words, he's, he thought that he was going to leave everyone for naught, but in qualifying didn't quite get the job done. Started back in 3rd, so Ghali's going to be trying to do the best. And same thing with Halpern and Klusa, they're just going to be doing their best, because I think Carr is going to be the man to beat here.
Yeah, with how big of an advantage he had in practice, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's just toying with the field right now, saving some tire, not being too aggressive. Yusuf is probably pushing as hard as he can to try to break away from the field. He's sort of doing it from the 26 car, but the 20 and the 27 aren't really letting him check away. But the 54, he's doing everything he can to try to get further and further away from this 26 car, and he's just not letting him out of his sights.
Yeah, one battle I saw was close between Jonathan Hernandez and Joshua Banks, but it's kind of separated out here early on. Try to look if we got some interesting movers anywhere near the front. I see Bailey Turner starting all the way back in 18th, and actually he started all the way back in 29th, and he's got some major damage to the nose of that car.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a little bit of impatience. Didn't have the qualifying effort he wanted, and maybe got a little impatient on lap 1 and made some contact with someone else. That's clearly a result of not expecting someone to break a little early. Bailey is one of the better road course guys in iRacing, and at least in the Oregon League, and just unfortunate that he has to get damage on lap 1, or lap 2 of the race. So unfortunate, and he's going to have to be dealing with that the entire way around. He may be down some RPM too.
Yeah, and we were going to see again. He's going to have the chance to fix that under the stage caution. And I think that's that at this point, that's all he could really hope for the rest of his race, because it's going to be a fairly long night around here. And that's the thing too, as you see through the grass goes Alex Bell, again a new driver for Sim Motorsports in the number 15 car, doing fairly well for himself. 22nd up into 18th. It's been a decent day in the midfield for Bell, trying to just work his way on up through the order. But back up in the front, you can see that the lead has expanded out by quite a bit from Ghali to Halpern.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that Halpern isn't being as aggressive as he was in qualifying. I believe, yeah, he was the second quickest guy in practice. He's not really flexing that same muscle here. He has a little bit of damage. Maybe the 27 of Zach Carr got into him a little bit. And if you look at his front bumper, or off the bumper of the 50 or the 26, yeah, I see a little bit of damage on that front of that 27 car, so maybe a little bit of impatience showing here early by 2 drivers here tonight, and that's just unfortunate. As you see a big gaggle of cars going into turn 5 here, everyone's going to sort themselves out, and everyone's going to be single file up.
Yeah, and
here comes the 77 to the inside of the 99, and ooh, man, he clips those curbs and really hops those.
And Cabot trying to get past Sam and Devontae, but can't quite get it done. Bryce Klusa in behind also is just trying to point out too, because if I'm not mistaken, he was up there in the front of it in the top 4, but has dropped on back. Made a mistake last lap, ran a 2:12, so imagine that off. Speaking of which, Jeff Wright, very slow.
Yeah, and that's a really easy corner to go off track, and once you grab that sand trap right there, it looks like he just kind of overcooked this corner, missed the apex, and carried it out a little too wide here, as you see. Kind of wheel hops it a little bit, there goes the back end, steps out a little bit, and that just slows you down. So once you hit that sand trap, you just can't really do anything except try to slow the car down, correct it, and get back going. So unfortunate for the 48 of Jeff Wright, but you'll get it back going, try to chase down this 20 car.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to worry about a little bit of a dive from behind him. Angel Ronis trying to get the spot on him, but can't quite get it on. Also, Eric Mickey, I'm noticing a lot of guys with some damage, which is very surprising. Ooh, Martin Sprout having some severe internet issues. And ironic, because Joshua Banks is right in behind him, and Banks has been known for having severe internet issues, although those have been somewhat alleviated, it seems, in recent weeks. Whoa, as you see Eric Mickey way sideways in the final corner.
And Eric Mickey did a great job to keep his momentum off the corner. I think he'll have the preferred line going into this corner. Yeah, he will. I don't think the 10 looks like he's going to get enough of a momentum here. You see some rear damage there, so maybe that's hurting his handling a little bit. He's going to let him go, and he's going to sacrifice that final spot for the stage points to that number 29 car of Angel Ronis.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's not Ronis, that's the 19th.
Yeah, it's the 19 Martin Sprout who was able to take on that beautiful Pennzoil machine. Ronus is right ahead in the 29 car in his foreign Mustang, trying to see if he can try to get 8th place away from Jeff Wright. And you can see the gap, too, between Calusa and Jeff Wright has expanded out quite a bit as well. So really, it's the top 7, then another solid group of drivers on back. But again, this is kind of, you can argue that nothing much is at stake here. You can want to try to set yourself up in a decent position, because that stage caution is going to reset everything. You see a big block from the 36 of Banks. Banks goes flying off into the sand as well as Martin Sproul.
I thought that was going to be for sure tire barrier, for hitting the tire barriers there. It looks like he just overcooked it going to that corner by a country mile. Here you see the 36 go up the hill. Actually, no, he gets clipped by that car behind him. Oh, he clips the grass and can't really do much there. Just along for the ride. Great job by those two to not make that worse by hitting those tire barriers.
Yeah, I was right on board with, sorry, this is the wrong car. I was going to try to ride on board with Joshua Banks. You can see him try to just go ahead there, and then watch this wheel, look at that. Full lock to the right, gonna throw it back to the left and then back right again. An excellent throttle control as well to prevent that car from looping around. So he saved the car pretty well. He's only back in 14th, and that could have been a lot worse, as you mentioned.
Big winner out of that was Jonathan Hernandez. He'll slot into the final, or at least the preliminary. Oh my goodness!
Yusuf Ghali!
Oh no!
Out in Canada corner, and I'm not sure that car is limping or not, or that's just him working through the sand. It looks like the car is somewhat okay, but how on earth?
Looks like he got a. Yeah, it looks like maybe he got a little hop in here. Kind of surprised on where the rear end damage came from. Maybe he wheel hopped, clipped the guardrail, and we're gonna watch here. That looks exactly
caught some grass.
Happened there. Yeah, he. Oh wow! No, the 26-2.
Halpern involved as well.
Oh no.
Let's ride on board with you, Ghali, to see if we can get a definitive look at this. And listen to the engine.
Yeah, those RPMs are way high up, and that's way too much to commit to that corner. And then he shifts to second way too late, and then wheel hops it into the corner and just lost. And unfortunately, the 26 of Zach Halpern is going to be an innocent victim out of that. He couldn't really go anywhere there. That's just it's a product of this kind of racing. It's just unfortunate for him. Oh man, that's going to hurt his handling right there. As you can see, he's already struggling coming off those corners there. Pretty much every fender on that car is bent in. Yeah,
I was just about to say, it looks like he came out of Martinsville, not so much Road America. Sam Devontier actually just loses a spot to Adam Cabot, who was able to one-up him. We'll just take a quick look at that. Whoa, okay, there's more to the story there that me and Liam just got a glimpse of here. Coming out of what I believe is turn number 6. Just gets on the curb, tries to accelerate, goes way sideways, did some great driving to save that car, and Cabot gonna sail on by.
Yeah, what a great reaction for that 99 to flick that wheel back and keep it under control, and a great run for him. He didn't really have the run he wanted at Daytona last week, and he's certainly making up the points here tonight. One guy that's really making a really strong showing is Aegis Nevada. I'm kind of surprised he didn't qualify too well. I believe he qualified in 6th place, so not quite the qualifying effort he wanted, but maybe he can get some spots on attrition, especially with that 27 car having some front-end damage.
Yeah, I was going to say, he pretty much got most of his spots from attrition itself, qualified pretty decently, up in 6th place, but now is going to be resting in 2nd place. And as you mentioned, that car knows damage to that machine. It's going to be interesting if that damage is going to be significant enough to slow him down. I want to say, looking at it, doesn't look too bad. I've seen worse, but you never know. You never truly know. It's really hard to tell with visual damage. It might not look bad, but it could be really hurting him on speed.
Yeah, maybe. As long as he has all the RPMs in that engine, he should be fine. And man, he really he kind of bobbled going into that corner there. Really big commitment going into that corner. But as long as he has those RPMs in that engine, he should be fine, because I don't see any damage to that suspension or anything, or that those two wheels. A little bit of damage to his right rear or left rear though.
Yeah, these guys are going to be begging to come down pit road by the time the caution's going to be coming out. These tires have been wearing out quite a bit. I'm not sure if it's just the way I was driving it, or or if that's how it is, but it seemed to definitely fall off significantly after a lap or two. You really start to feel the lack of grip and everything. We might see some more and more mistakes occur in some drivers as this run goes on, but Dakar going to lead by over second to AJ Stravato. And looking down the rest of the order, Eric Mickey actually just getting by the one of Jonathan Hernandez, who got a pretty abysmal run out of turn 5.
Yeah, I believe the 41 just the one had a really bad run off that corner. But what's nice about this stage break is everybody gets to try something. They get to do their normal driving style. They get to be a little aggressive in this first going out. Just try some things. And with this stage break, Eric Mickey goes off, kind of overcommits going to that corner. He'll get back on track, no problem. No one will hit him. He'll be fine to lose 2 spots there. Fall back to 12th. Unfortunately, loses that stage point there. But going back to what I was saying, what's nice for this stage break here is everybody gets to try something. They'll be re-racked and restacked, and maybe people will try to be more conservative with those tires. The key to tire saving here is not sliding around that back end. We saw Eric Mickey being really, really aggressive with that back end on lap 1, and as you can see, it's really hurting him now.
Yeah, that was one thing I was honestly struggling with in practice, was trying to keep that back end from sliding around, especially coming from such high downforce machinery to struggling to keep this car under control, especially considering, again, this is the low downforce configuration. You can see the tiny little wing on the back of these cars, so not a whole lot of rear end downforce to keep these guys, the rear end planted, so that's going to be all driver controlled, just not throwing it in hard. And you can see some of these guys kicking out, especially Mickey there. You can see a little bit of a wobble. That's exactly what Liam was talking about, and you want to make sure that you don't do that, because you just wear through your tires. And really, this entire first run, I gotta say, is a learning experience for a lot of these drivers to figure out what not to do for the second run.
Yeah, and they get to try to get in the second run, be as careful as they can. The 92's off. See what happened here. You looped it around. That's you've seen a lot of incidents where people just loop it around a little bit, but go off track and get it back going. It looks like this is a full spin here, so looks like he's gonna lose quite a few spots out of this. I believe he fell back all the way to, I want to say, 26th.
Yeah, he was running, I think, 22nd. That was Wagner, I think, that was up ahead of him, and is now just spun out of the corner. What's not as bad as I thought. Typically, crash out of Canada corner a lot more, I guess, interesting is the best word, best phrasing for it. But Jeremy Miller notably coming down to pit road. Actually, he missed his stall. He's going to just reverse it back up there. He finally goes.
Yeah, and I believe if I saw correctly on the, I was just looking through the URL Discord.
This is interesting. Look at the timing and scoring. Apparently, it's scoring him as first. I think because he crossed the start-finish line and then backed up, so I'm not sure that's going to be going to matter or not. We'll see if the sim decides to fix itself. But so Zakar just had the lead taken away from him. I'm just kidding. It should sort itself out, hopefully. But Zakar is your leader, should be your leader. AJ Servato second, Cabot third, Devontae fourth, and Bryce Clusa in fifth.
That's to be the strangest thing I've ever seen. I never think iRacing would make that kind of a scoring error there. Back into your stall over the line. That's strange. But,
I definitely would think that iRacing would make that kind of scoring error. Yeah, but as the leaders are coming down to the front straightaway here, we see that correct. Speaking of which, also coming down to the front straightaway is this battle for third place, what should be third place, between Cabot and Devontae. Now, Devontae didn't get quite a good run onto the front straightaway. He's going to have to try to recover and maybe salvage something here if he could try to get past Cabot. And as everyone sorts past Jeremy Miller, who I think might have parked it, either that or he was told to hold into the pits to sort himself back up. Oh, now it finally sorted back out, and he's got put a lap down.
Weird.
Yeah.
I was sifting through the URL Discord earlier, and I saw that I believe he broke his ankle. So I mean, yeah, that's I don't know if that's correct or if they're just joking around in there, but if that's the case, certainly trooping on through here. Road course is not really a place where you want to have a broken ankle, especially when you're using that to blip the throttle all the time. So that car has seen a lot. So and then it goes off there. Not a great race for Jeremy Miller, but given the circumstances, he's doing a good job. Maybe getting a few spots on attrition.
Yeah,
25th now.
if for Jeremy Miller, if his ankle is broken, it's unfortunate to hear. Hopefully it gets better. If not, do better in the race. Going back up to the front, AJ Servato doing a really fantastic job. He's improved so much from the previous 2 seasons. Last season is really where he kicked off. Again, 3 wins, if I'm not mistaken, to his name. Is looking to potentially get another one here if he can get to Zach Carr. He's lost half a second, but that's not too terribly bad. He's still keeping touch with the 27, unless he's sandbagging.
Well, Zach Carr can, make some, he could try some things in this first stage, actually. He could do the opposite strategy. Everyone's trying this aggressive driving style in this first segment of the race. He can just do the opposite. He can be more aggressive in the second stage and try to check out right away off the bat. And AJ Stravato's just trying not to let that 27 get out of his clutches.
Yeah, looking at a battle that was brewing between Martin Sproul and Jonathan Hernandez. Sproul was able to get on by for ninth, and now Hernandez has got to worry about the guys in behind. He's got Clifton Cockrell to deal with, as well as Eric Mickey in behind. And we were talking about those stage points. Mickey fell out of them a few laps ago. Now has a chance to... Whoa! Get him back.
Big save by that one. Jonathan Hernandez and Eric Mickey has seemingly fallen out of 10th 3 times this race, and he's gotten right back up in the picture. Maybe if you didn't make those slides earlier, you could probably be up in the top 5 right now. But 10th place in the stage, not really bad. But you see Jonathan Hernandez with a big save there.
Gotta say, gotta hand it to a lot of these guys. These guys have been doing a fantastic job of saving the race cars. These things are not easy to save in the slightest. You really need to manhandle them to get them back under control. As you see, Hernandez now side by side. That is Yusuf Ghali, we have not seen at all since he had a major incident heading down to Canada corner. He's been struggling quite a bit after starting in pole. He's gonna get past Hernandez as he gets a little bit into the sand, and he will move himself up into 13th place. But you can't imagine Ghali's a hamper camper at the moment.
Yeah, and he has his work cut out for him in the second stage once that starts. He has to pass, but right now he has to pass 12 cars to get back up in the lead, and 11 to even be back in that picture to try to chase down, or even think of chasing down Zach Carr. So,
yeah, I can't imagine it's going to be for him too well. Speaking of also another car we haven't seen a lot of, Bailey Turner trying to do the over-under on the one of Hernandez will get himself on by for 14th place. And for Turner, started back all the way in 29th, effectively the last row, or second to last row, and moved his way all the way up to 14th. Been a fantastic job for the 24 car. And trying to see some more battles going on up ahead. Eric Mickey really just trying to get to the back of Clifton Cockrell. And Cockrell's been having a fairly quiet day in his 16 machine in 10th place. And roaring back onto the power. Do you think Mickey's going to be able to get on by? These guys are going to have one more lap to go. I don't quite remember if it's the start of lap 10 or if it's the completion of lap 10 where the caution will fly.
I'm not too sure if they'll be able to. I believe, maybe they might do at the completion of 10 just to make it a little bit shorter second stage, but maybe. He's been pretty quick with this guy in front of him, the 16 of Clifton Cockrell. Perhaps he can get something done here. He's been not letting him out of his clutches. Maybe the 16 could catch a mistake or something. And as you see, he really steps out that back end there. Maybe he might be able to if bearing a mistake from the 16 or the the 19 car ahead, as he will actually from the 48 pitting.
Yeah, this is some strategy going on for Jeff Wright. He's deciding to come down pit road. He surrendered. I'm trying to remember where he was running, but it was definitely a position around 6th or 7th place. And he's going to be coming into the pits now. So he's going to be, he's the only driver to come in. And again, the caution is coming out next lap, or sorry, this lap actually. The caution will be thrown when the leader passes the bridge on the front stretch, and between that and the start-finish line, where the caution will fly. So effectively at the end of this lap. So Zach Carr looking to win the stage ahead of Adam Cabot. Then we got a 3-way battle for 3rd, as Cabot was able to get by Stravato, who slipped on back to 4th. The clutches of 4th and 5th place. Yeah, and it looks like he's gonna keep it.
The 5th place car, the 99, having a really great run today. That'll be great for him in the points. So we'll see what he can do in the second stage to try to chase down the leader. But he's certainly proving himself to be one of the best road course drivers in this league. And that's no small feat with how competitive with this, or how competitive this field is. So The 99 of Devontae is having a really great run here tonight, and that'll certainly be a big boost to him in the points after a not so ideal run at Daytona. And he'll
yeah, and you would think that road course would be his ace because he's Australian, so you would think that would play into his strengths, and he has done extremely well on the road courses. I remember, speaking of which, last season at Mosport is where he did particularly well, as the field now coming on to the final sector of track, looking to see if anything happens between Servato, Calusa, and Devontier. And doesn't look like it's quite going to happen here for Zach Carr. He's going to come back flying onto the front stretch. Will pass under the NTT data bridge. And as soon as you see the caution fly... There it is. Caution out and the end of stage 1. As Zach Carr will win the stage, followed by Adam Cabot, AJ Servato, Bryce Calusa, Sam Devontier in 5th. And we got Zach Halpern, Angelo Ronis, Eric Mickey, who was able to get up into 8th place, as Clifton Cockle finishes 9th, and now Yusuf Ghali was able to get 10th.
Yeah, he got by his Sim Motorsports teammate. They had a little bit of a battle in this last lap, but the 54 got that last stage point from that 15. Really strong run for Yusuf Ghali, really strong rebound, but he has his work cut out for him to try to jump through the field, especially with the 48 car on that alternate strategy. He will be the leader, I believe, if he stays out here. But kind of concerned if he'll be able to make it on fuel. That's a really strong or really long time to stretch it.
Yeah, and so actually, let me pull it up. I do have that information, at least I should. The information on the fuel mileage for these cars. I think you were able to go definitely 12 laps. 13 is a bit iffy. I think you can get close to 13. You might have to save a little bit, but 12 is definitely, I think, in the realm of possibility. So we'll see what these guys are going to do. Can't imagine we're going to see much strategy down pit road. They're effectively going to take full gas and tires, and I think that's going to be called a day. And I also don't think really for any of these guys you might see them try to fix their cars up as well. Namely Yusuf Ghali, I don't think he's really in a position where he can afford to, and I also don't think the damage is too terribly bad for that 54 car.
Yeah, just a little bit of a ding on that right rear, so shouldn't expect to see him go in and fix the damage.
Yeah, because he's running too well at this point. I'd say if he was running, maybe 20th, it might have been worth coming in. But he's running 10th, so there's still at the moment there is still 29 cars running in the race. Brian Stern, Corey Steinhauser retired earlier on. So we're left with 29 again. Jeremy Miller, speaking of Jeremy Miller, if I'm not mistaken, should be the free pass recipient, being one lap down, so he's gonna have to book it though. I don't think he'll even have the chance to pit. We may see this caution extended, I would think, just to get everyone sorted out, because the cautions on road courses typically tend to be a little bit too short in regards to having everyone catch back up.
And the lucky dog isn't really actually assigned by iRacing. The admin has to wave them around because cautions aren't supposed to come out on road courses, so they show one to green twice for whatever reason that iRacing.
Oh, does it not? Even if you manually throw it, it doesn't automatically give a free pass?
It doesn't give a 2 to green, so they can't give a free pass.
Oh,
so it just does
yeah.
1 to green 2 times. It's pretty strange.
Yeah, well, that's iRacing.
Yeah, well, yeah, iRacing doing iRacing things.
just iRacing things. And for the field coming through the final sector of the track, we're going to see pretty much everyone come down pit road. We might see, I don't even think you could really afford to try to stay out and lead a lap. Because you're going to need to come down to pit road at some point, so I think we're going to see everyone come on down.
Well, it's not going to matter anyways, because Jeff Wright's going to be the leader, so if you're a 27th place car and you're thinking about it, you better not even, better just throw that out. But 27 is that car is going to leave him on pit road, and pit stops are about to go underway. I expect to see the 27 try to fix that damage there in the front end. He has enough time to do so, and he has the car capable to make up those spots.
Absolutely. Well, as everyone's slowly going down pit lane, you also see how the curvature of the track too. They don't come up until around halfway through the pit lane in the shot.
This is a really I want to say aggressive pit road with how perfect you have to be in your stall. You have to pretty much hit the marks perfectly. If you're too far right or too far left, you're going to easily lose 6 or 7 spots. trying to realign your car because you can't really adjust it by pulling forward because the stalls are really small. But the 77 is actually going to lead him off pit road, only taking fuel. It looks like that was a really quick stop by him. Actually, no, the 27 is going to stay in front, not fix that damage any. And that 77 of Adam Cabot with a kind of a weird quick stop there. I'm actually kind of surprised that he got that good of a stop. He almost beat the 27 off.
It wasn't that terribly good. Some other guys got better ones. He had a 14.6 second stop. So
strange.
I was gonna say he is an absolute mad lad if he did not take tires. I feel like that's effectively that's equivalent to committing suicide in this race, because he would just have no shot at catching keeping pace with these guys. His tires would be horrible to deal with. Actually, we did have a few guys stay out. One of them makes sense. Two of them don't. Matt Wagner and Russell Arnold have yet to pit at all in this race. Jeff Wright, remember, he came down earlier and is going to take the race lead with this move, so interested in seeing what Wright's got in store.
I don't think he'll be able to keep the lead from this 27 and 77, but no, he wasn't running too well. I think he was on the backside of the top 10 and then had a few incidents where he spun out, so I think he might be able to try to turn a 7th place, 8th place day into maybe a 4th or 5th. So that's probably what's on the back of his mind, because I don't think there's any way you can just fend off the 27, 77, and 33 with, having a car that's been in the gravel traps a few times and on older tires. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do here. But Jeremy Miller is going to get his free pass here, and he's going to try to put it around the track and try to get some positions on attrition.
He's actually going to come into pit lane here to get his service to his car, because again, he can't afford to run all the way out, and man, that pit horn is really loud. I love that occurs in the first place. I was amazed at that when I heard that. I was like, oh, that actually responds to guys coming through pit lane. So Miller going to come in to service his car. He's going to that's exactly what you're talking about there, being in your box precisely. Had to roll a little bit.
Yeah, it's I believe this is a full pit lane, because you can see the boxes kind of end right there, so that's strange. I haven't seen that before, but it looks like the pit lane is completely full.
Oh, he's actually taking this chance to repair some damage as well. And there's an idea of where the field is as well. Matt Wagner, again, sitting in the lead of the race. Imagine he's going to want to come down to pit road this time by. Otherwise, it's going to be an interesting restart, to say the least.
Yeah, Jeremy Miller has enough time to, I don't think he'll have enough time to quite catch up to the field, but he'll have enough time to put a good bit of distance between him and the leaders and get that damage fixed. So might be able to get a few spots from other people's misfortune. We haven't gone through the track conditions.
Yeah.
78. Quite a toasty track here tonight. We're at 100 degrees, 5-mile-an-hour wind, so not as bad as I've seen it on iRacing. But,
yeah, and the thing is too, because I was practicing with these guys. There was a lot, as you see, Wagner and Russell Arnold pulled to pit road. And Wright will take the lead. But when I was practicing with these guys earlier, when we were practicing, the temps were around 85 degrees. And it was getting hotter because we were practicing. It was around 10 a.m. in the sim, and the track was getting a lot harder as it went on. So these guys are dealing with significantly hotter temps than they were dealing with in practice. There you see Jeremy Miller with a very risky move to stay out ahead of the field and fix his car as much as possible. So he's going to have to book it around to get back to them for the restart in time. I think we'll also just take this moment to quickly go to a quick little break. I'll see if I can try to fix my microphone in the 3 minutes we have before the restart, so don't get anywhere. We'll be right back.
Conditions.
Yeah.
78. Quite a toasty track here tonight. We're at 100 degrees. 5-mile-an-hour winds.
As everyone slowly.
5-mile-an-hour winds.
Alright, welcome back everyone, and I think I sound probably 100 times better from my onboard mic. I figured out the issue when Windows loves to reset my microphone levels to back to 40% instead of 100. So I have a noise gate, I think is the correct term for it, on my mic, so it only picks up at a certain point, and because my mic was considered so quiet, because it reset, I wasn't able to be picked up, but I fixed it for the second half of this race, so now I sound a lot better. And so we're coming to the restart here. Liam, it looks like Jeff Wright looks like he's changing lanes here very late, and he's going to elect to take the left side.
Fairly interesting strategy by the 50 to stay on this caution. He wasn't really too quick in this race. Casey, he's kind of struggled on the road courses. He's been really strong on the ovals, but road courses not so much. But we're going to see what he can do here on this restart. Starting second to Jeff Wright. Jeff Wright's going to lead him up the hill, and the flagman's about to give the green flag, as Jeff Wright's going to give the green, or take the green, and Jeff Wright is going to lead this lap without a challenge from that 50 car. Man, what a terrible restart for Casey Locatus there.
Yeah, we'll see. He's going to get swallowed up here as the field racing down into turn one, and this is a big concern here. Guys are going to be going at it, and a wreck with the 27 of Zach car immediately on the start, as Wright also gets in the grass as well, trying to see any leftover cars from that incident. It looks like it was just Casey Locatus that got the bad end of the stick. Going to go all the way back to 26th place as the field now racing on down to turn 5.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Casey Locatus. He was just trying to get some points there, and going to try to get a little bit of track position to benefit him, and then right in an instant, he got put way back in the back of the pack. I believe he's the last car in the lead map right now.
Yeah,
so
something close to that. So as field racing on through, though, Yusuf Ghali notably up into 7th place.
Oh, the 7's around on a turn 5. RJ Root, he looped it around off the corner. He got on the gas. Really, looks like he clipped that curb a little bit. But he's racing these guys into here. Got a little aggressive on his entry here, and he just cuts it in too sharp. And he just hops that curb, and can't really do anything when people are coming. So he had to stay there for a little bit. But that 77 of Adam Cabot, he's taking the lead away. And whatever damage that the 27 as that car got repaired, it got instantly put back on. So that's unfortunate for Zach Car. He has his work cut out for him to get by the 20 and the 48. But I'm not surprised at all to see Adam Cabot go right to the point right away. He may have tried a few things in the first stage, but now he's trying to do whatever he can to try to check out from the field.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see now if he can try to get back on. Oh, as we got a car off Jeff Wright in the grass. Whoa, as you see AJ Servato get on the curbs hard and almost went flying off the track. He's going to get back on and stay ahead of Jeff Wright. And here comes Andrew Rodas now hounding to the inside of the final corner of Jeff Wright. Can't quite get it done. He's got to sit back in behind the 48, but Wright, this is not going as a plan, I would imagine.
Yeah, and Road America is one of those tracks where, you have some full throttle corners like that kink there, and going into that second to last corner there, and in these stock cars, you don't have that because of how little downforce you have and how much power you have. So maybe a little bit of an error by AJ. Kind of forgot what car he was in and got a full throttle through there, and just a good thing he caught it. And he is only in 4th. Actually, he went up a spot from that 48's misfortune. So great job by him to avoid that 48 car, but he'll cycle up in 4th.
And going up to our race leader at the moment, Adam Cabot in the number 77 machine. It's been a while since we've seen him back in victory lane. He hasn't really got the wins done. Won 2 races in the first season. In season 2, won another 2 races. Only 1 win last season at Dover all the way back in May. So he's been waiting quite a while to get back in victory lane. It'll be his first road course victory as well if he can hold on. But he's got Bryce Calusa, and Bryce Calusa, he cannot be underestimated, as won the last road course race we were at when we were at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park.
Yeah, and don't look too far behind us is Zach Carr. He is, I saw those last few corners. I'm pretty sure y'all did too, but he was really, my goodness, you see how he's stepping it out there. You see how aggressive he's being to try to chase down that 77, and that's just going to really bite him in the long run. But that 27 is probably fuming behind that helmet right now.
Yeah, well, whatever it was that going sideways in turn 1, I think it lit a fire underneath the 27, but you can see a big gap between the first 3 cars and everyone else, only after 2 laps of the restart. And AJ Serrato leading that second group with Jeff Ray in behind, then Andrew Aronis, Yusuf Gali, and Sam Devontier. Here are the top 8, and we also had Martin Sproul and there he finally is, Martin Sproul in 9th, and Bailey Turner up into 10th place after his woes there earlier on with some damage to that car, but he's been the second run going a little bit better for him at the moment.
Yeah, you'd think it's a multi-class race with how far this top 3 is pulled away, over 3 or almost 3 seconds from 3rd to 4th. So a really impressive run for these top 3, and man, they're just in their own zip code and their own, pretty much their own league of their own.
Yeah, and also I want to take a look too at the pace between these two guys here. Have a look at the lap time difference. Last lap through, Kalusa made up 8/10 on Cava, and you can see him all over the back now. This is going to be interesting because Kalusa could take the lead, and then Carr might take it back. I'm curious what Carr's got in store, because I would again argue he's the fastest of these 3, but Kalusa looking pretty strong in the second half.
Well, I haven't seen that 20 car slide those tires around, but that 27, he was slipping and sliding all over the place, trying to get as much ground as you see. And you do it again there. That back end steps out a little bit, but that 27's being super aggressive, and I don't think that 20's being as aggressive, but he's still matching those lap times.
Yeah, and also, whoa, Sam Devontier getting a little bit sideways in turn 6. I was just pointing out that Yusugali just got on by the 99, or at least was able to hold on to the spot, I think, was being challenged. He's going to hold on to 7th place. Back up for the battle for the lead. No one will break away from this. Our leaders all nose to tail here with under 10 laps to go. It's going to be a green run to the end no matter what. There's not going to be caution if everyone's parked sideways on the track, is what the officials have said for this race. So we're going green no matter what. Nothing's going to stop this race unless the server breaks down. And I'm sure for Cabot, he would like that because he's in the lead. He's got 2 very fast guys in behind him at the moment.
Yeah, that 20's probably smiling, seeing that 77 not be able to pull away anymore. He tried to pull away, but that 20 kept his, kept everything in check. And you see how much of an advantage he has right now. He can drive it in farther into that corner, and look at that drive off he got there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing a great job. I thought he would have been swallowed up this lap from these 2 guys in behind, but he's been able to hold his ground. But do you think this is just kind of the inevitable is going to reach him?
Probably. I don't think that 77 can hold him off for long. That 20 car is, it's really, it's way easier to be the chaser than the person that's trying to run away, because that 20 car can check to see what that 77's doing, try to incorporate that in his driving style a little bit. But yeah, it's way easier to be the chaser than the runner in this situation. So that 77 is probably driving way harder than that 20 is.
Also updated some other drivers down through the order. Eric Mickey back in 16th place in his 41 machine. It started off to be a decent night for him. Not sure what put him back here. I'm not sure if something happened to him on the restart, but he's got a mountain to climb again. Whoa! Someone came flying through the screen. That was Zach Floyd in the 42. Very sideways in his machine, but is going to get back going in the right direction. That was a wild ride. He's still sliding around a little bit, but he'll get back going and try to get back up here. Well, the 99 with the big moment there. 54 is going to get around him. These 2 have been going at it for these past few laps here, and the 99 seemingly get the spot here from this 54. Oh, going to try to bully him out.
Letting him off.
Yep, and now Hughes are going to stick it up the inside now to turn 7. This is not a corner. He can be side by side with, and Gali going to lose not 1 but 2 spots in that exchange. Devontae up into 7th, Sproul up in 8th.
That's the thing with Road America. There's so many rights and lefts that once you have to get the pass done in one corner, because in the next corner you'll be at a big disadvantage there. But you see the 54 and the 19. Oh my goodness, they're dragging it out really far, and that's just killing their tires.
Here they come now onto the straightaway, flying towards the kink now for both of these drivers. We'll see what they got in store here. You saw them starting to get really sideways already. I'm only going to get a few laps into this run. They still got a very long way to go.
It's pretty incredible how brave everyone's being through that kink. I'm surprised not to see more people clip a little bit of grass there and go off.
Ask and you shall receive is what I've learned over the few years of commentating. So we'll see if that does come to fruition. But checking back up with our leaders here as they're heading on back into the front straightaway. And man, Cab has been doing a great job defending. Kalusa got a pretty solid run out of the final corner. Here we go. We're going to see them side by side. I think we will. There we go. Kalusa peeling out side by side for first place.
Yeah, that 20 had a great run coming into that final corner. He took it wide, and he was able to use that momentum to his advantage. He's going to try to outbreak the 77 in here. Maybe try to force the 77 into a mistake. The 20's going to get the wider arc. He's going to try to go for a challenge from this corner. Doesn't get it going. He spins the tires a little bit going off exit.
Yeah, down into turn 3. Uclus a little bit sideways in the braking zone. He's going to get it sorted back out. And going to try to chase Uclus again. Got another long straightaway and could potentially build up a run. Might be a little bit too far back to do so, however. And yeah, I'm not sure these guys are showing patience or they're being aggressive, and Cabot's just doing a great job keeping him in. Starting to look more and more like the latter as you see Carr very sideways under the brakes.
Yeah, he got all the way up to the 20. He's still sideways. Wow, he just drifted through that whole set of corners here. So that 27 is going to try to
Whoa, speaking of sideways, this is the 77 of Cabot. And now here we go, side by side for the lead again. And we saw what happened when Golly and Devontae were side by side through here. It was very sketchy. But now down to turn 8, looks they're back single file. And they're starting to get more and more antsy here. And more sideways, I might add, too, as the laps go on.
And it explains why everyone's getting so sideways. They're shifting to first gear, and that is a really sketchy gear to be in pretty much anywhere you go. So that pretty much explains it right there. But that 77 took that corner, made a crucial mistake there, but he hung on to that lead. But that 20 is just showing more and more pressure on that 77. You could see it. That 77 is getting all that pressure built up on him. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a crucial mistake happen here.
Yeah, I'm curious, as they head down to Canada Corner. It seems that Cabot's kind of struggling in this back part of the courses where Cluse seems to make up the most time. Well, Cabot's the best in the first half of the lap, so we'll see here. Cluse was able to get side by side on the front stretch last time through. See if he can try anything different here.
And maybe that 77 made a mental note there, but that 20's going to take another wide arc there. Doesn't get quite the big run up that he got last time, but that 77 didn't get as good of a run as he did. Whereas the 20 did last time, so they're going to be even going out of the straightaway, and that 20 is just continuing to apply pressure, and that 27 is starting to fall out of the picture here.
Yeah, I was just about to make note too. He's slowly dropping back, not a lot, only a few hundreds here and there, but is not gaining and not putting enough pressure. I think on the top two, they're putting more pressure on themselves than anything else. So Carr is starting to slip out of the battle here if he doesn't start picking up the pace. Meanwhile, behind them, there's Edu Serrato kind of in a race of his own with a few seconds between himself and the next few cars around him. And we got Andrew Aronas having a really solid top 5 day, but Sam Devancier in behind trying to change that.
Yeah, the 99 trying to get his first top 5 of the season. Second race, so I mean, I guess it would be, a lot of people's first top 5 of the season if they got it done. But oh wow, the 99 a little aggressive on the braking there. 29 kind of overdoes it going into that corner, but that 99 is going to get that.
Oh, he's still there. You see Golly sideways in the background as well. Devontae going to charge up to the inside, going to get the job done by turn 6. Yusuf Golly was way out of line as well. I'm curious to see what caused him to be off into the grass, or if that was just a mistake on his own.
Looks like
he just went sideways.
Yeah, he just went sideways, overcommitted, and got on that gas. Got too trigger happy on that gas pedal and stepped it out a little bit. Oh wow! Oh, that 36 using a ball of the track he can to try to held off this 54, and the 15 his teammate is going to try to get by him, but Yusuf, he's not letting him by.
Yeah, no, Yusuf, I can't imagine he's a happy camper again after all the stuff he's been through this race. It's only getting worse and worse for him as his race has gone onwards. Now working through the kink onto the back straightaway, they will go. Still no change up near the front. We'll keep an eye on this for a little while longer.
Joshua Banks with his storybook. Internet problems there.
Trademark internet problems for Josh Banks. He's gotten better, I will say, significantly better, but has a few flashes here and there.
Yeah, that internet is still showing its flashes of brilliance there, and but that 54 is not really having a great start to the season. I don't think he had too good of a run at Daytona, and this race isn't really backing up a good run.
Ooh, Cabot a little bit hot into turn 1. Looks like he got out of there okay. Looks like it was a lot worse from the TV angle. Might not have been as bad for him. But for the 77 now, we're on lap 20. Do we think the 77 has what it takes to win, or do you think there's still more that the 20 and 27 haven't shown yet?
I think the 20 is trying to lay back a little bit here, try to save a little bit more tire than that 77, while that 77 tries to do everything he can to try to check away from this 20 to try to make it so the gap can't be made up, but it's only half a second, and that could easily be made up under braking. As you see, that 20 almost does it there, and he gets it low down really well, and he didn't even lose any time there. He gained 2/10 in that one corner alone, and you see how precise everything's being.
A big wreck in the background. Martin Sproul around in turn 5. Bailey Turner involved as well. That was probably the biggest wreck we've seen all day, and this is still not done yet. Look at this gaggle of cars trying to work on through. Zach Halpern sideways going to get hit the bridge, and still Sproul going off into the track. Wow, this has been a absolute catastrophe heading down into turn 5. Here we go. Jeff Wright and Sproul were side by side. Wright going to go way too hot into the corner, and that caused Sproul and Turner to get around as Turner clipped the 19.
Yeah, it looks like that 24 gauged that 19 to try to get those get those brakes down. The 24 slammed the brakes a little too late. It looks like he followed these two guys that both overcorrected or over-braked into this corner. And there goes the 48, 19. 24 tries to cut low and just doesn't have enough time to do it. A bunch of cars come by. They do a great job.
I am amazed. Yeah, I was just going to say, I was amazed that more guys didn't hit them sitting in the middle of the racing line. Uh-oh, this is, this is a great camera to come back to. There you see side by side is Bell and Bailey Turner. They're going to throw it to the inside in Canada corner, and it looks like Bell's going to get into the sand. That's going to allow Mickey and Clifton Cockrell and even Jonathan Hernandez trying to work his way on through. And neither one will get on by, and Bell just lost 3 spots in one corner.
Yeah, Jonathan Hernandez trying to make up for a abysmal run at Daytona last week. He finished last, but here comes a 20. He's gained all that time back on that 77, and that 77 has to have destroyed tires right now, and that 20 is starting to show what he has.
Yeah, and you're talking about Zach Carter regretting him sideways on his tires earlier on in the run. He's kind of fallen into the battle. Cabot, very bad exit out at turn 3. That's not what he needed. Here comes Calusa with a fantastic run to his right side now. Drag race to turn 5.
He was waiting for his chance to do it, and here he goes. And at Road America, there's not really much of a preferred line, especially when you're not in the good line here. Going into the corner, he kind of overbrakes it. Dang, he overbrakes into that corner, tried to outbrake that 77, and that 77 is going to get a little bit more of a gap going on here. We get a replay of it. The 20 probably saw it as his probably only one chance to get by the 77.
Yeah, and you can see him how far he shot ahead of the 77, just didn't get well down for the corner in time, and then also had to accelerate on those curbs. Never a good thing to do. You have to make that gap up all over again. He's also got to deal with the 27 of car, although car, I can't imagine that car, no pun intended, is in a terribly good shape.
Dang it, Penny.
I wasn't trying to do that. I realized it in mid-sentence.
But that 20 car, he has a little bit left in the tank here. He's gaining that time all the way back up. He's cut down 2/10 in that one corner alone. He was really brave going into I forgot the name of it, the kink there. And that 20 is going to try to chase down the 77, and he's gaining so much time on that 77 right now. And that 27, it's in his best interest to just hang back, let that 20 catch back up, and maybe get the win on attrition. These two get together here.
I'm curious to see if he's just kind of waiting, letting the tires cool down, letting them do all the heavy lifting, battling one another, slowing each other down, and then, you know, rising like a phoenix out of the ashes to try to take that lead away in the last few laps. But again, it's kind of tough to say, give him a case for trying to win this race. He was good earlier on, but it just seems like he might have pushed too hard at the moment, but still is in the hunt for third. And also, AJ Stravado, I'm not going to say he's a contender just yet, but he's living in the background 3 seconds behind. He's not completely out of the battle as well, in case something happens with all the top 3.
Yeah, he's been even with these leaders here. He's been staying around that 3.2, 3.4 second gap, and when these guys get racy, he cuts it down to probably about 2.8. Then they pull it back up again on him. Not quite in the same range as the top 3 are in speed, but 36 around the 54. Maybe a little help here.
Oh, and Banks came in front of Eric Mickey. That sends him flying off the track. A few more damaged cars as well, including Alex Bell. Let's see what happened here. This was,
looks like a little bit of help. 54.
Oh.
Clips him. Looks like, I don't know how to call that one. Looks like the 54 went for the pass here. That's really late. Hey, you see those, he kind of slides those tires there. He wasn't going to make that corner, and Yusuf Gali clips at 36, sends him for a spin. Unfortunately, Eric Mickey, an innocent victim of that, he was going to cycle out in the top 10 out of that little incident there, but unfortunately, he's going to stay in 12th.
And still not done yet, as Gali's got to deal with Bailey Turner. And Turner, got to say, after starting in 29th, it's been a fantastic run for him so far, up inside the top 10.
And 9th after that spin.
Yeah.
He came to a stop for a good 5-6 seconds, and here he is in 9th still. So, really great way to turn a negative into a positive here, and he'll be 9th place. That's going to help him in the points a good bit, and every point matters once you head into the postseason.
Yeah, absolutely, especially you want to get as many points early on. I know it is only the second round of the season, but you can never try to think of a saying, but I'm going to mess it up. But you don't want to be too complacent here. You want to make sure to get as many points in the opportunities you have heading into the chase. Also in behind, too, Clifton Cockrell leading a train of cars, leading Jonathan Hernandez, Eric Mickey, and Alex Bell. Oh, wait, they were in behind him. Oh, that's why they're not in behind him anymore. No, oh, and I'm hearing more contact as well. Absolute chaos going here in the final few laps of the race. Oh, they're still hitting each other. Oh, man.
That had to be the longest wreck I've seen. Man.
Grab your popcorn, because this is going to be a long one.
We see the 41
oh, wow. Bell
15.
came in flying into the corner, hit the wall hard, then tapped Eric Mickey around in a lazy spin for him. See him trying to get the car fired back underway.
41 stays stopped here. He gets going. 8 comes in. Tries to avoid that 41 here. And then that 8 is the slowest spin I've seen in my life.
Here's the second part of that again as you let off camera. Hit the 42, then the 8 of Eric Hutton, who we haven't really talked about a whole lot. Hutton got turned around, finished off by Eric Mickey there. Yeah, so very long wreck for these drivers, as I'm sure it's been a very long race, especially for a lot of them.
Yeah, Hutton hasn't been too flashy this season, so hasn't really been up in the picture of a race right now, so kind of tried to chill in the back, get a few spots on attrition here. Probably not so great at this track, so probably what happened there, and unfortunately just got clipped by the 41 there. Tried to miss him, and unfortunately couldn't get through, but the 16 car here, he's trying to chase down the one of Jonathan Hernandez. This would be for the top 10 spot.
It's one of the closer battles on track. After any time people seem to get near each other, they start to spin, is what we're seeing here in these last few laps. Also, I saw Zach Floyd. He was looking like he was pretty close to Sproul, but that gap is separated back out between them. Let's go back up to our race lead, and Cabin, man, he's been putting on a clinic in these last few laps, although he gets a little bit sideways into Canada corner. You never want to see a car start to wiggle down to Canada corner. That's a very bad sign of what could potentially come. But Cabin's going to wrestle that car under control. Now, can he hold off Calusa and Zach Carr for another 2 laps?
That was a great corner for that 20, in 2/10 in that one corner alone. But here comes that 20. He's been really great on this run up to the front stretch here, and we're coming to 2 laps to go. So I'm expecting to see some last-ditched efforts from this 20 car on that 77 car, and maybe a little bit of aggressive driving here.
Yeah, and he can only have one more shot effectively to try to close his gap back in and then make a move. He can't afford, what we saw earlier. He made a big mistake, lost a lot of time. He's effectively been trying to gain back from that mistake ever since. Now as they head into turn 3, and Cabin himself too, he's got to hope that he doesn't make a mistake as well. I don't want to say it's been a flawless run for him, but he's been able to minimize his mistake in comparison to his competitors. And Calusa, again, he's just got to look up has to get his head down and not make any mistakes from this point out. Otherwise, he's going to definitely not have a chance at this win.
Yeah, he just has to focus on his braking points and rather than that 77 car, because if he focuses on that car, if he makes a mistake, he'll follow him right into it. But you see, this is pretty much what's separating these guys from the rest of the field. They're being so aggressive that they're using first gear. And that's not really something you see on road courses, especially with stock cars. First gear is usually never used except when you're coming off pit lane. So using first gear here is really showing that they're getting that little ounce of extra speed off the rest of the field.
Yeah, now working through turn 8 for these drivers here. Lucy's gotten pretty close to that 77 car.
Turn 7 was really great for that 20 car, and he's going to try to take that wide arc going in here, take that late apex. Going to get that
go a little bit wide. Great run.
It's a good run off that corner. He's going to hold even with the 77. How brave is he going to be into the Canada or in the kink here? Going down the Canada quarter. They're both really brave here. The 77 is going to keep the advantage, get that extra run coming into here. He's going to take that wider line and try to take a really late braking into here.
Ooh, and Cabot.
And you see how sideways he gets into here. You see that door number on that 77 car. Really insane how these guys are driving pretty much their daylights out of these cars.
Oh, and Calusa, great run here at the penultimate corner. Ooh, spins his tires, so it goes a little bit wide, but actually conveniently sets him up very nicely for this final corner. Not sure if he meant that or not, but he's going to get a great run out of the final corner here. Here we go, as they come up and over the hill. It's going to be white flag in the air for our leaders. One more lap around Road America. Is it going to be Cabot? Is it going to be Calusa? Maybe, heck, even Zach Carden behind might have his shot. Here we go, Calusa going to make a big dive to what looks like to the inside of turn 1. No, it was just a fake out, gonna fall back in behind.
Yeah, probably try to play some mind games with that 77 there, but that 77's gonna keep his thoughts in check here, and that 20's gonna try to do everything he can to charge every corner on that 77 car. It's gonna take a mistake for that 77 or for the 20 to have a chance on the 77 car. He's been so perfect in these last few laps. Oh my goodness! You see, it took him probably halfway through the straightaway to start that car up.
He's got a good run here. Is he going to dart out to the left? Indeed, he's not going to wait till the back straight to make a move. No, he actually is. He's going to fall back in behind.
He's going to fall in behind here, maybe try to trick the 77. Here comes the 20. He's going to get a really great entry into that corner. Go up the hill here to see what the 20 has in store for this car. He's been really great in the second half of the course.
Yeah, that's where he's typically been able to close up onto the 77 here as they come through turn number 7 and down towards turn number 8, and then they head through the carousel. And we saw Calusa. He made up a huge amount of time on Cabot through the carousel. Here they come on down.
You see that 77 and 20. Oh, wow, that 20's being super brave here, taking a really wide arc into here. He got a really good run last time through here. He's going to pin the throttle, and really great exit for the 20 car. That 77 kind of matches it, but that 20 is going to have a little bit of advantage here. Really brave into here. 77
Calusa, a bit of a slip, though. That's going to cost him quite a bit. That might have been it right there. It all might have been said and done. But Cabot, he's still got to get through these next few corners in one piece. He's got to get his head down and make sure he doesn't make a mistake himself.
He has one more shot in 14 here. We're going to see what he can do here. The 20 cuts it really wide. He's going to try to take as wide of an arc in here.
Oh no, Calusa, a mistake. He's going to go flying off into the gravel and hard into the concrete. It's not going to be enough for him. He's going to make a big mistake, and that's going to basically hand over the win to the 77. Adam Cabot going to come out of the final corner. He will take the checkered flag at Road America. Fantastic drive for Cabot to hold on to hard competitors, and he's going to take the win. Zach Carr going to have to settle for second place, so what we thought could have been a winning car. Calusa, damaged car, is going to limp that thing back home to third. It is Servato in fourth. Sam Devontier going to finish in fifth. Ronis now coming across the line in sixth. Jeff Wright with his strategy, it somewhat worked out for him, I guess. He kind of ended up more or less where he was running in seventh place. Clifton Cocker leading a train of cars eighth. Golly going to finish in ninth, and Jonathan Rodriguez is going to round out your top 10.
Gotta respect the send. And wow, what in the world?
I think that's Golly I think that's Golly showing his frustration there. I don't think he was a big fan of this race, the way it played out for him, but for Adam Cabot, what a drive.
Yeah, what a drive, and I don't think Kyle's checkbook is going to be too happy with Yusuf there, but gonna have to fix the race car there. But
Kyle, that's my checkbook as well. I'm co-owner in the team.
The Sim TV bank account is
bad enough that thing was dented up. Now he just now we have to write off a race car. It's gonna be coming out of his paycheck. But for Adam Cabot, speaking of cars, look at that thing. That thing is in pristine condition.
Yeah, that 77. I think you get a little bit of a ding. No, yeah, a little bit on the bumper cover there, but not too much. Really makes you think what the 20 car could have done there had he not had that spoiler damage, but maybe not so much would have changed there. Maybe a little bit of a cleaner line, but that 20 car made one heck of a send going into that final set of corners there. He had one more shot in 14, and he went for it in 13, and man, what a effort for that 20 car, Bryce Calusa.
Absolutely. We'll take a look again at your top 10. We mentioned them coming on through fairly solid for the most part. More or less the guys you kind of expect in this order, but then we go down to the next page of drivers, and some disappointing names to see down here after considering the runs that they had. Eric Mickey all the way back in 16th after pretty much having a top 10 car underneath him. Bailey Turner ended up finishing up out of in 11th place. Martin Sprout, too, finishing in 13th. Probably going to add a top 10 car. And even Eric Hutton, too, back in 17th is going to be disappointed with that. Casey Licata is only back in 21st after recovering from his spin off in the beginning of the restart, which we do have to take a look back at. We never got a chance to really go look at it, so I think we'll take a look at it after interviews. But great driving from everyone involved. Cabot's worked his way all the way back to the front stretch, and I think we'll be in for a treat here for some burnouts.
Yeah, it looks like everybody with similar names finished right by each other. Matt Wagner and Matt Burgess, I believe that's how you say it. I finished 19th, 20. Eric Mickey and Eric Hutton finished 15th or 16th and 17th, and Zach Halpern and Zach Floyd finished 14th and 15th. That's pretty coincidental there. Wow, that is something to see.
All right, look at that, right in front of the camera.
Man, what a shot.
Wow, those are some awesome burnouts. How about that?
Yeah, Smoke on iRacing isn't that prominent, so that's a wow. You can tell he's not new to doing burnouts.
Fans are loving it. You can hear them cheering in the background as he barely keeps it off the wall there. Almost got some more dents in his car. Look at that.
Man.
And again, fantastic run for Adam Cabot. And with that, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and we'll grab some drivers to interview, especially Adam Cabot, maybe a few more. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Now, welcome back live at Road America. We're here with your third place finisher, Bryce Coos. And Bryce, man, you drove so hard in those last few laps. You were trying to do everything you could, but unfortunately you weren't able to get past Adam Cabot. Walk us through.
Well, got out into second after Jeff had his little runoff there, and at that point I was just in hunt mode. I knew I was faster than Cabot from the earlier parts of the race. But, Cabot just ran a really good defensive race, and I couldn't get it done. I ended up losing it on that right-hander after Canada corner because it's extremely loose if you hit it just right and full throttle it. So I just went off into the wall.
Yeah, unfortunately, that ended up happening to you. But, we know you're definitely very good at the road courses, especially taking your win at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. And actually, no, you didn't win there. You won at Indianapolis. I got the two races mixed up. You won at Indianapolis. You did very well at Canadian Tire. finishing second. You finished third here. I know we're heading to Road Atlanta in a few weeks on November 7th. Do you think that, you weren't able to get the win done here, but do you think you'll be able to get it done there?
Well, tonight I haven't been on Road America in the stock cars, and I haven't been on Road Atlanta, so it's going to be tough to say, but I think I'll be a good top 5 contender at least.
We'll definitely see you perform there, Bryce. But for now, congrats on your third place finish, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Moving on to our second place finisher, and Zach, I gotta say, I thought me and Liam both thought at the beginning of the race we thought we would be talking to you in victory at lane, but unfortunately, ended up finishing in second place. So walk us through your night.
Yeah, it was it was crazy for sure. I messed up qualifying a little bit and had to start third, then started second gear on the start of the race, and that's just not the play. You got to go with first gear. So found that out pretty early. I was just going to settle in behind Bryce and run fourth for the most of the run, just kind of maybe pass later in the run, hopefully. And I got a good run down into Canada corner on I think lap 2 or 3. And I was going to clear him, but then Zach Halpern, he checked up on the exit of the corner, and then I ran Bryce off, and I got front end damage from that. And then later on, Yusuf ran off and took out Zach with him. And then until the stage caution, me and Adam were pretty close in lap time, so I thought the damage wasn't hurting me too bad. But then at restart there, Casey stayed out with Jeff, and I don't know. Casey started in second gear, he said, so I lost my track position to Adam there and Bryce. And then going off into turn 1 on that restart, I locked it up trying to get off Bryce, and then AJ ran into the back of me, and it was just a chain reaction at Road America into turn 1. That usually happens. I acquired more front end damage from that, and then just trying to catch back up to Adam and Bryce just burnt the tires off. But I would say overall we were top speed next to Adam and Bryce, but just burning the tires off and the damage, it's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, and also wanted to ask too, you're working on that last run. Were you pushing the whole time, or were you trying to save your tires for the end?
Oh, I was pushing that whole time. I mean, once I knew I got behind and had damage from that restart, I knew I had to get back up to Bryce, and I was able to catch back up. But then I think I was just pushing way too hard because I kept slipping it out of the corners, and the more and more you hurt the tires, it's not going to work any better. So then after about 5 to go, I started backing off, trying to let it maybe cool back down, and it started evening out running second gear because the first gear just wasn't going to work. And then, like I said, I think it was too late. I think the tires were just killed, and then thankfully Bryce ran off in the final corner, second to last corner, and gave me second.
Yeah, unfortunately it wasn't the win, Zach, but hey, second place is second place. Congrats on that, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks, Finian.
All right, and last but certainly not least in victory lane is Adam Cabin, the 77. And Adam, I gotta say, between you three up at the top, who essentially took off from the rest of the field, I didn't expect to see you in victory lane. I thought you were just gonna get trampled over by the other guys in behind, but you were able to hold us off and walk us through how you were able to do it.
I feel like I should be offended by you saying that, but in all honesty, I would have bet $1 million I would not have won this race. So I can't be mad. I can't even blame you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I did put in a lot of practice because I knew this was going to be a big event, and I just love Road America. I would say out of all the road courses that we run in these leagues, Road America it's always been the most fun to me. So I don't mind practicing it. So yeah, put in the time, and then I focused a lot on saving tires. There were some turns that Bryce and Zach were taking in first gear that I wasn't. I was staying in second, and it would hurt me a little bit on the short run. And sometimes they would get really good runs on me if I missed my braking point a little bit in those corners. But on the long run, I think that's why I was able to have the longevity in the tires and able to hold Bryce off. And he raced me really clean. He definitely could have gotten into me a few times there, and I wouldn't have blamed him. And but yeah, I just took it defensive and was like, if he's gonna pass me, he's either gonna have to do it on the outside or wait for me to go off track or bump into me or something. But he certainly made me sweat.
Yeah, we see it on, I was looking at your history in this league, this being your fourth season. Your first 2 seasons, you ended up getting 2 wins apiece. So I was looking at, for you, looking at the rest of the calendar, any place you particularly have your eyes set on as getting your second win?
Not really. I mean, I don't know if Dover's in the schedule, but
it is.
Always seem to do well. I guess I'll circle Dover then. But right now, really, I'm just kicking myself for not running full time. So points don't matter for me. I guess I'm probably a point getter, and I'm ineligible to make the chase. So kind of screwed that one up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I forgot about that. That you were changing over from last season to run part time.
But yeah, maybe the lack of pressure of having to perform and just trying to go out and get wins. Maybe that pressure being off is gonna help me this year. Maybe that helped me in this race. I'm not sure.
Well, it didn't matter if you're part-time or full-time for Adam Cabot in Victory Lane, and hopefully potentially again a second time. But Adam Cabot, looking forward to seeing you next time, whichever race you're going to be running next.
All right, thanks, Finian.
All right, and with that, that's going to wrap up post-race interviews, Liam. I got to say, that was a pretty awesome race. I was not expecting to have as close a race up at the front as we did. I thought we were going to see some cars dominate as you typically do at the road course, but they were going tit for tat pretty much the entire 25 laps.
Yeah, it really shows how talented this field is. I mean, this top three was not letting each other make a mistake. You saw the 27 fall off a little bit at the end, and that 20 win for one heck of a last chance opportunity there, and just couldn't make it stick there. But that was a really great race. Good battles throughout the entire field. Jonathan Hernandez snags a top 10 out of this race. A lot of comebacks. You see, it seems like he's spun around like 5 or 6 times, but he still made that good drive, got back up there, got that top 10 there. And a lot of drivers that had a little bit of misfortune, still having some solid days. Eric Mickey, we saw him involved in a late race incident there. He finished the 16th, so not too bad of a run. A lot of drivers are able to show how good they are on road courses here, and it's really nice to see how close. There's not really one guy that pulls away from from the rest of the field. There's pretty much 3 or 4 guys that can win here, and it's a really great battle every single time that happens.
Absolutely, and looking through the rest of the results here, pretty much the rest of your finishers. Not a whole lot of report from Brian Chalmers or Tim Downey Jr. finishing 24th and 25th. Looking for some other notable names, Jeremy Miller ended up falling back a lap down after he got his way run earlier on, so it wasn't really a day to report about for him either. And then also people can get a kick out of this, me finishing dead last in 32nd place in this race, I guess. Or you can argue I probably should be, but with that, we're going to be wrapping up the broadcast here from Road America. My name's Finya Kuna here with Liam Sheen for SimTV, and we'll be signing out for tonight. Thank you for watching.